It's your time. It's his time. It's Bam's time. Bam's time to shine. Excuse me, man. It's been hot in the house. Waking up, getting the videos in, man. Let's hope you don't see the white patches under my eyes. But anyways, we back with another reaction. As I told you guys before, we are consistent on here. NBA legends and players explain why Michael Jordan would destroy today's NBA. Today's NBA players, all of the above, whatever. I heard some OG saying he would average 50. I think they're being, a little extra with that. And when I say a little extra, I mean I think they're saying he'll average a big amount of points, but 50 is like, come on, you know. They're just pretty much saying that he would kill. And I'm not saying he wouldn't, but I do say there are going to be new obstacles that he would have to face that he didn't have to face in his time. But it's definitely less physical. But back then it was more physical, it was way more physical, way more physical. So probably harder to score, but at the same token, it was, some of that stuff was not defense. It was major fouling. And that's just my personal opinion, but you could disagree with me, but let's get straight to the video, man. Hit the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button if you have not already.
So you probably heard the media or people that watch Michael Jordan play live say that he could average 45 to 50 points in today's NBA. And if I had to give my take on it, James Harden averaged 36 points per game on 44% field goal shooting in this era. DeMar DeRozan had a scoring streak averaging at least 35 points per game this season. And I brought DeRozan up because offensively, he got the same mid-range game like Michael Jordan, and this was the best season of his career. Keep in mind, both of these players are not even in the same stratosphere as Michael Jordan. Jordan averaged 37 points in a season with hand checking. Imagine knowing.
That's what I'm saying, yeah, because he did average 37 without hand checking. I mean, with hand checking, excuse me. But then Jordan's going to also have to guard, because back then, as far as scores at his position, back then guards were scores. So he's going to have to guard a little more, which may drain him on offense. Because some people, I know he was a two-way player. He played, he was great. First team all defense. He took the challenge on defense. But at the same token, his more skilled guys is, before AI came in, point guards weren't scorers. AI came in and it was like, he's a shooting guard. We don't, we're not used to our point guards shooting this much or, coming at us. It was really just, you had the two guards, Drexler, you had, what other two guard? I'm not even too familiar. You had Clyde Drexler, you had what the two guards it was just really the big man. It was a big man game back then. You know what I mean? So it might have been a little different. You never know.
Hand checking with the defensive 3-second rule that the NBA implemented in the 2001-02 season. Michael Jordan will be slashing every second, and I suggest you after this video watch Luka Doncic on JJ Redick's podcast. He explained why it's easier to score in the NBA than in Europe. So anyway, I know Jordan will be unstoppable with modern spacing and no hand checking. Right also, I'm not fond of the myth that Jordan was a terrible three-point shooter in his early years. In his first 4 years in the league, he never shot over 70 three-pointers in a single season. That's less than 1 attempt per game. The three-point shot wasn't a focal point in Jordan's era. When he was 26 years old in the 89-90 season, he shot 245 three-pointers. He made over 37% of them. That is a good three-point percentage. And in the 96 season, he shot 42% from the three-point line. And even though the three-point shot wasn't a renowned part of his game, he would have shot a few more three-pointers in today's NBA. If I had to give an estimate, he would have had a season where he averaged 40 to 43 points per game. So I want to show you NBA legends and players who talked about how good Michael Jordan will be in today's NBA. So enjoy the video, man.
How would you envision, what would Michael Jordan be if he played in the game today the way the game is different from the way it was in his era?
He'd average 45, and the league would be complaining about two players. I'd be like, Mike is too good, and the kid named Shaq down in Orlando is too dominant. What are we going to do?
When you think back to what those defenses were allowed to do and how defenses played now in the NBA, what would Michael Jordan do in today's NBA?
Probably average 45, 50 a game.
As far as LeBron and Michael, if Michael played in this era, he'll average 50. He averaged 50 points.
How many points do you think Jordan could average in today's NBA?
What's the most he ever averaged, 37?
37-1.
All right, so 40 easy. 40 easy.
40?
40 easy. Yeah, 40 easy. Like 40 is easy. 40 would be easy for Black Jesus.
Because Harden, I think
Easy.
Harden a couple of years ago averaged 36. So
Right.
So you figure Jordan could average 40 with no problem. I'm gonna ask both of you guys.
And you add to that when he averaged 37, he was doing it with twos. It wasn't even no three. They weren't shooting 3-pointers like how they shoot now.
That's true.
Just imagine if Michael decided to shoot 6, 7 threes a game like they do now.
That's true, but at the same token, I'm not gonna give him that because, like, well, no. I'm not like he was a dead-eye mid-range shooter. Like that was his main bread and butter. But at the same time, you know, we can't say he would have been a good 3-point shooter. You get what I mean? Because I don't like you can do the what if game, but you also have to be fair when you do. We can't pick and choose when to use the what if thing. You know what I mean? Because I don't think we give other players that what if they decide to do this? What if they, so we have to be kind of fair when we do that. And like I said, I'm just being objective about it. I honestly do think Michael Jordan, like if you average 37 with hand checking, you probably go 40. I'm gonna be honest. But at the same time, you have to guard a little more now. The defense isn't as intense as it was back then, but back then the defense was a little more so-called fouling. Let's be honest. Not all of it, but it was. Like certain plays, it's like that's not like that's a hard you're playing aggressive. You're not letting anything slide. No easy baskets. But it's also like we're being honest. It's not. That's a bad. That's a bad. That can injure somebody. You get what I'm saying? Like you just got to be honest about those type of things. But I will give him this. He would destroy like a lot of players don't even take on the challenge defensively. But at the same token, you have to guard also. It's like I said before, because they might look like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, whatever. I'm not a pro. I'm not in the NBA. I'm not a pro. I play basketball. But I'm not a pro. So I'm not going to argue with the pros. But at the same time, I can tell you that he's going to have to guard more. It's not just guarding. Like, it wasn't just when AI came in, the guards are can score now. The guards are coming in scoring, coming right at you. It's going to be a little draining trying to guard then and then go get 40 a night. James Harden got that 36, but James Harden wasn't locking people up. They still got that 36 though. I'm not saying Jordan is different. He played defense. But I'm saying now you have to worry about all these point guards is coming at you. Curry, threes, all these point guards, Russ back in the day coming at you full speed. So you have to play your legs will be gone from playing defense. It's like Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson used to give you that 22 a night. Them games where he struggled, he having a shooting slump, but his legs is gone because he guarded Kyrie, he guarded Westbrook, he guarded Dame. I know he still delivered Game 6 Klay. He still delivers, but there's going to be nights where it's my legs is gone. I'm running around guarding everybody.
If Michael played today,
yeah,
he'd probably average almost 50 a game.
No, he wouldn't.
I mean, he really would because you wouldn't be able to touch him on the perimeter, so he'd be shooting a ton of free throws.
Yeah, so when everybody does this Michael LeBron comparison, it's like you almost can't. It's not the same game that they're playing.
It's not the same game. You're right. It's not. It's not the same game. I would have loved to see LeBron play during in the 90s.
You played in both eras. How many points do you think Jordan would literally average per game?
Today?
Today.
Phew.
Sharpie S Gel. The power of Sharpie, now in a gel pen.
All right, man. Thank you.
More than James Harden.
James Harden had a season he averaged 36.
More than that. For sure.
Really?
For sure. And I was at the Jordan era.
Yeah.
I was in the LeBron, Kobe, Duncan, and I was at the tail end.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I played with these guys.
Right.
I've seen all the three-point balls go up. They can't. Jordan, no way. Jordan averaged 50.
You believe Jordan would average 50?
If he wanted to?
Right.
James Harden.
No, we're not going to do the whole if he wanted, because I remember when LeBron was talking about, he could win a scoring title every year if he really wanted to. People are like, why would you not want to? Why would you not want to? And then I'm thinking, well, He goes out there just trying to average 30 plus. He's already did that, but he didn't win anything. Every time you win a championship, he averaged around 27, 26, 27. But when he went out, when he went out and averaged 30, 31, 32, you know what I'm saying? He never won anything. You know, some OGs was telling me, why would he say if he wanted to? So I'm not going for the whole, if Jordan wanted to, he could average 50. I'm not going for that because
Wants to average 50.
we got to give everybody that if they
Right.
wanted
He got
to.
38.
But he would
Right.
average.
Right.
I
Jordan
agree.
wants to
If you average 37, you're probably gonna get more than that.
I think he
But then you
averages.
got to guard these point
No
guards.
disrespect to any of the guys.
Current players.
That's killing, like KD. You know.
Yeah, all this guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Not all
guys.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta guard these guys because if you playing intense defense, you gotta guard these guards now. These like KD's, LeBron, you have to guard. It's more like what they said because according to Gilbert Arenas, what he said, it's more skillful players than maybe your two guard and your center. You get what I'm saying? Now you got the point guard that's averaging 20 plus. You got the shooting guard that can average. You got the small forwards dominating the game. You got the Lucas averaging this. You got the Lucas. You got Curry. You got Kyrie. You had this player, that player. They're all doing this now. So you have DeMar DeRozan. You have so many two guards, so many especially the point guards that are just coming in and killing. That's why they say if you 6'5", 6'5", 6'4", 6'3", you have to be a bucket. If you're not 6'7" and up, you a little because technically you still like kind of 6'5" and under. You're a little guard. Back then, if you're 6'5", you're a power forward. So you have to kill.
Between 45 and 50 because it reminded me so much of how Wilt Chamberlain seemed to be just dropped in a different era when he was averaging 50 and 25. That's what Michael Jordan represented for the era he came in. Think about it. He was MVP of the league while teams were still flying commercial, okay? The rigor isn't the same. The physicality in today's game isn't the same.
I agree.
One of the things that you didn't acknowledge, all NBA defense, he will be getting steals. He will be getting out in transition, catching lobs, 3-on-2, 2-on-1, and also getting to the free throw line. In the NBA Finals in the early 90s, he scored 63 in the 80s versus the great Boston Celtics. And yes, there are.
But y'all don't, bro. Oh, like y'all be trying to do that, bro. He lost. I mean, it's not his fault that he lost that game. Headphones about to fall off. It's not his fault that he lost that game. You went in for 63. Really? You don't need to talk to me. You need to talk to my teammates or coach. You ain't gotta talk to me. But I'm saying, bro, you don't give LeBron passes for scoring a lot. He never scored 60 in the finals, but hitting 40s and 50s. You don't give nobody else passes. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying right now. Like, there are obstacles. People don't want to hear this, but there's obstacles Jordan faced that players of today have to face. Wait, hold on. There's obstacles that Michael Jordan faced that he didn't have to face because he doesn't play right now. Every little thing right now gets talked about. But there are also probably obstacles that he's facing, that Michael Jordan faced, that players of today didn't have to face. As far as the physicality part, like the people just slamming you to the ground, fouling you super hard, certain stuff like that. There's certain stuff that he didn't have to face. But I believe that it's not a one man game. But I'm saying we have to be fair when we give LeBron, or not even just LeBron. When KD hit that turnaround three and did everything he could, they said, bro, he lost. I'm seeing people like, bro, he lost. I remember somebody I know, he said KD's mom over here hugging him like they won the game. We can't give certain players passes.
Great defensive teams in today's game. The Bucks, both teams in LA, the Toronto Raptors. But you know what else it is, Greeny? A lot of bottom feeders. So say against the great teams, he would average 40, no doubt. Against the bad teams, the lottery teams, he would definitely average 50 against those squads.
What about these other guys who are playing in today's?
Jordan would have averaged 45, 50.
In today's game.
The point I was making is you allow great shooters freedom to roam, freedom with no hand checks. You can't crowd me, and I got a clear sight at the rim, then it's going to be lights out, baby. But it's so hard to play defense in today's game because they allow the offense to go wherever they want.
Okay, but if Jordan's averaging, I mean, be honest here. If Jordan in his prime, Jordan in the early 90s is
In
averaging.
today's rules.
Yeah, today's rules is averaging 40.
He would average 40.
Okay.
I think he would average 40.
Okay, but didn't he average 39 one year, or 37.1? So Kobe's going to average 40.
Kobe would be up there. Kobe would be up there as well.
In today's game.
But here's the thing, though. This is what I'm saying. I'm like, this isn't Michael Jordan's fault. But I'm saying y'all have to understand, is he going to be the same defensive guy as guarding the point guards today? Two guards today? It's only, maybe, like, is he going to be the same? Like, it wasn't no Klay Thompson back then roaming around. You have to, like, I mean, or excuse me, no, you had Reggie Miller, who we just came on the screen. Let me not do that. You had Reggie Miller. But then I think, has Reggie Miller talked about Klay Thompson, like eclipsing him before? If I'm not mistaken. But you had to guard that. Like, you really have to guard now. Bro, it's no name. It's like, they're not no names, but it's people come off the bench. It's people coming off the bench spying you at the point guard position. Look at Jordan Poole. I'm not trying to put Jordan Poole and Michael Jordan in the same sense. Don't clip that and make it sound like I'm putting them in the same sense. But what I'm saying is, you have to look. It's people coming out of nowhere that you have to guard. Back then, they're just running the offense. They do a little clean, pass. Pump fake pass to the big man, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's evolution supposed to be like that. I'm not gonna sit here and say it grows. The positions grow, the players grow. We needed how it was back then as far as the skill level. It's not supposed to be at an all-time high. It's supposed to gradually get there. It grows, it's evolution. But I'm saying is he has to guard players of today. And players of today is more skillful than players back then. So that will take away his energy for him to score. Because he's still gonna be the same competitive guy who take challenge on both defense and offense, right?
How would Jordan do?
All we talking about right now is offense.
I don't think anybody's averaging 60 or 70.
Okay.
So that's, those days are over with. I don't think anybody's averaging 60 or 70.
Okay.
It's impossible.
Those
Nobody's
days are over with.
Nobody's gonna get Wilt 50 a game, huh?
No.
Not 50 a game.
No, thank you. Thank you. Nobody's not getting 50 a game. Thank you. I'm not trying to sound like Jordan is the greatest player of all time until LeBron eclipses him. But I'm saying, like, don't do that. Like, not 50 a game, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, let's be honest.
But I will say this: Michael Jordan would average whatever he want to average.
You believe he can get 40 a night?
Yeah, he can.
I never discredit that part. But then he has to play defense.
40 a night,
yeah,
40.
Yeah.
How you gonna get 40? If you go to
I'm not here to break it down and decipher it. I'm telling you as a witness. I'm testifying.
This is Blankos.
I think Shannon Sharp he's getting ready to say how he gonna get 40 if he guarded somebody.
On behalf of Michael Jeffrey Jordan, that he would average 40 a night. If we see guys averaging 30,
right,
and 35, with all due respect, that don't have the arsenal that he has offensively.
Well, you know you have to add that three ball. You got to add the three ball to get to 40. Because you look at the guys, Harden was the last guy. I think Harden averaged 36, and that step back three, he put that in. Obviously, the free throw, Jordan went to the free throw line a lot. He didn't go as much as Harden, but I don't know how you get to 40 without that three ball.
Well, Jordan's gonna go to the free throw line more than he did back then because we were able to beat him up,
right,
and it was ignored to a certain extent.
Okay.
So,
That's what I'm saying. That's another reason why he would, because because that's what I'm saying. The way he just said, beat him up. Literally beat him up, not defense. Foul. It's fouling. It's not even defense. It's because I'm a player. Like, I like to, when I go in the paint, I don't really complain about, like, bro, why is you doing all that? Unless if you really, I'm gonna dunk you, throw me out the air, you can hurt me. But I'm not the type to complain about fouls. But back then, it's not, bro, fouls, not defense, fouls. You couldn't stop me, so every time I go to the cup, you just foul me. It's not defense. It was fouling back then.
And he added the three ball in his career. We watched him against the Blazers knock down three. That wasn't his specialty.
Right.
But it wasn't like he was a liability shooting the basketball. Michael
Shooting
Jordan
threes. He wasn't he wasn't a liability shooting.
Be inflated. You thought James Harden got to the line a lot. Jordan would average 20 free throws probably every night. You got to understand, he would evolve into this era. You know, the Jordan that we saw young, athletic, get into the basket based on, what we've seen in this era, you would see a Jordan probably shooting more threes too. So he would definitely evolve.
I'm not going for the whole probably
at
shit.
one point, I can see him really pushing that to 40. I don't know about 50, 60, but like, mid 40s. I can
It's
see that
impossible. 50, 60 is not
I don't know if he
happening,
would
bro.
shoot 75% from the field, but Paul, for his career, I think he averaged like 8.5, 8.8 free throw attempts per game. So like that's at least gonna double. That's
yeah.
20
I'll give you that
per game in today's age.
I'll give him
and
that.
Also, I mean, pace and space. Think about how physical the game was back then. You pretty much get put on your back every time you went to the bucket. Now all of a sudden somebody
it's not defense.
Was back then. You pretty much get put on your back every time you went to the bucket.
That's not defense. That is not defense. That's not defense.
Now all of a sudden somebody blows on your wrist or hits your hand, that's a foul. Like, so yeah, even though he would have taken more threes if he lived in today's age, still his mid-range game was on point. His skill level, he still would be considered one of the most skilled, if not the most skilled in the league today.
His mid-range was deadly.
I think, I don't know 75%, but he'd be averaging in the 40s for sure.
What both of you guys are saying is right. The pace has increased. The three-point shot has increased. Players up front have gotten smaller. So now driving to the basket, he going to be dunking on everybody.
What? Players have gotten smaller. Wait, what did you just say?
Smaller. Three-point shot has increased. Players up front have gotten smaller.
Players up front, like the point guards and shooting guards? I mean, you got a couple of like Jalen Brunsons, you got CP3, you got a couple of the, what's that one white point guard that's on the not what team? He was on the Nuggets, I think. He was there like I don't know if he's still there, but he was on the Nuggets when they last year, not 2021 playoffs. He was there. I forget his name. I think he's not white. He was some. I forgot what he was, but players are smaller. You got 6'5", 6'6" point guards now.
Smaller. So now driving to the basket, he gonna be dunking on everybody.
Yeah.
Just think about that. Like KD is like a 4 in today's game. So now, like
Okay.
And then here's the other thing: if Harden,
that's one player though.
36-37 right now.
That's one player.
Harden is averaging that right now. He's getting none of those points off his defense. Jordan gonna be getting steals. He gonna be getting blocks.
But here's the thing though, you can't say he's going to still average that score at that. He's gonna get buckets, don't get me wrong. But you can't say he's gonna hit that 40 average at that 40 plus clip if he's guarding. If he's chasing around these niggas. You can't say that. You can't just say that he's gonna because when AI came in, we saw what happened. Not to him, but to the league.
He gonna be out on fast break. I say like about 40. We would be having a conversation. Can somebody average 50 besides Will? He'll be like 47 or 48.
No, stop it. No, he would not.
I really believe it.
No, he won't.
Five
no, he
is
won't.
subpar. All right, not so good. So you get a chance to rank 1 through 5.
No, he would not.
Psychologically, how do you rank Michael Jordan?
The scale of 1 to 5?
1 to 5. 1 being the best, 5 being the worst.
1.
1. Ball handling.
1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Defender.
1.
I mean, his ball handling, like he could handle the rock. He wasn't like, but he handled the ball well enough. And if you try to reach, behind the back, try to reach again, cross. Like he was good.
Mid-range jumper.
Mid-range is 1.
0. Like, that ain't 1. Like I said, he was a pure shooter. Like I don't think anybody in the league at that point was shooting the ball better than him. He shooting 50+% from the field at the guard position, shooting all J's. Like you have to be a pure shooter, and everything was touching bottoms. Like 1, 0. You go 0 with that one.
What do you think Jordan will average? Where do you think he would fit in?
I mean, he can adapt his game to anything. He would fit in as the best player in the league. Like that's what he would be. And I feel like he'll have more possessions to do more things.
Definitely
But there's
would.
also more athleticism in this game. There's
Definitely.
more length in this game. But
Definitely.
you know, it's also in it. More
Oh
space
my
for MJ to go
God.
to work. So I mean, we'll never know. But
I ain't gonna lie, his midi was nasty, bro.
masterful
That
basketball player,
midi,
like we've been saying, his skill.
he don't even.
Unmatched, so
I ain't gonna lie. So I'm gonna
personally,
give him that, bro. That midi was, bro. That midi was.
And it's the hand checking. You can't put your hands on these guys now. And just imagine,
Facts.
Michael Jordan was averaging 29 to 30 plus points a game in regular season.
But then here we go. You can't put your hands on these guys no more. Jordan can't do that either himself. So now when a guard is coming at him, AI style, when another guard is coming at him, he can't put his hand on him no more. If he's guarding him the whole game, Jordan's not gonna be like, hey, switch, hey, switch, bro. I can't guard him, switch. He's not gonna do that. He gonna, even if he getting torched, he's not gonna say switch. Kobe, rest in peace, Kobe. Kobe was, Gilbert Arenas. You think Kobe said, hey, switch, I'm not guarding Gilbert Arenas no more. After Gilbert crossed him up one time, you think he said switch? No, he stayed on there. Gilbert crossed him up again. 60, you think he switched that? No. Gilbert wasn't really guarding him, but you think he wanted to get off Gilbert? No, cool. Stay at home. Okay, be frying. So if we lose by him frying us, then we just lose. But that's what I'm saying. This hand checking thing everybody talking about, that's on him too. You get what I'm saying? He don't have to guard.
In the playoffs.
These guards today is nothing to play with.
Now you can't touch him.
Yeah.
You couldn't touch MJ then without getting a foul. Imagine what it looks like now. And Michael Jordan will adapt to the game today. And the one thing that will get guys is his ability to get one or two dribbles to the pump fake. Michael Jordan will adapt to the game today. And the one thing that will get guys is his
Lord have mercy.
ability
Look at that.
to getting one or two dribbles to the pump fake. It's Michael Jordan. You're gonna react to every move he does, and his pump fake alone.
Not gonna lie, yeah.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video.
LeBron,
Tell me, how many points do you think Michael Jordan would average in today's NBA? Would he average 40 to 45 points per game, or possibly 50? 50 is crazy. Or would he?
That's what I'm saying. 50 is crazy. Like, stop saying 50. That's not happening. But Michael Jordan is number one. He's number one until LeBron catches him. Anyways, if you guys like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, let me know so I can do more reactions. And y'all comment down. Send me links on Instagram at BamTime_. Just DM me and be like, yo, react to this, react this, react this. Or comment down below what to react. It's so simple. Just do that for me. I appreciate it. Just hit the comment section. Let me know what you think. Just hit that comment section, bro. If you got to the end of this video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for more videos, man. Rest in peace to Kari. Rest in peace to X. Rest in peace to my grandma, both our grandma. And I'm out.